Hey there, horror fans! Buckle up because today we're unmasking the villain in A Haunting in Venice. But wait, can you guess who the killer is? Take a good look at our cast of characters and let's see if you're on the right track. It's Halloween in Venice, and our story begins with the grieving mother, Rowena, who's mourning the tragic suicide of her daughter. She hosts a party for the town's kids, but there's something more sinister afoot. On this fateful night, she invites a psychic medium to connect with her departed child. In a city where every house has a ghostly tale, Rowena's castle-like mansion stands as a chilling backdrop. And among the guests are an eclectic bunch: the psychic and her immigrant helpers, a guilt-ridden doctor and his brilliant son, a superstitious caretaker who cherished a daughter, a furious ex-fiancé, a desperate author, and the unexpected arrival of a faithless detective and his vigilant bodyguard. As our characters take their seats for the psychic reading, things get weird. There are no Ouija boards or flickering candles here, just chairs and a typewriter, and the psychic keeps saying listening, 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 which honestly came off as a bit funny. Listening, listening, listening. Did the psychic just fart? It was a spirit. Are you not listening? But then the psychic starts her routine. Not everyone's buying into her supernatural act though. The detective, ever the skeptic, exposes her as a fraud. One of her assistants is found up a chimney manipulating a device that's magnetically pulling letters on the typewriter during the reading. But just when we thought we had it all figured out, the medium gets possessed by Rowena's dead daughter and chaos ensues. She points at everyone screaming, "You killed me! You killed me!" Final slam on the typewriter reveals the ominous letter M. Suicide turns into murder, and we're left gasping for answers. But can we trust the psychic? Was she genuinely possessed, or is there more to this story? Before we can untangle the web of deception, tragedy strikes. The psychic meets a gruesome end, impaled on a statue after a terrifying fall. There's no doubt now, there is a murderer in the house, and they're determined to keep their identity a secret. Think you still have the murderer figured out? As the tension escalates, everyone's on high alert. The detective takes center stage, interrogating each guest. Motives pile up, as it's a classic whodunit scenario. Where were you at the night of the murder? How long are your claws? That's the same length that was found on the body. You are now on the suspect list. The assistant's motive could be interpreted as wanting to kill the psychic for freedom and a ticket to Missouri of all places. The doctor seems utterly unhinged, and the ex-fiancé? Well, he's a hot-tempered individual whose name starts with an M. Just like the letter on the typewriter. Coincidence? Maybe not. But hold your seats. The shocking motives come from the detective's bodyguard and the author. The bodyguard's been lying about his past visits to Rowena's house, and the author? She's got a dark plan to create a real-life dramatic event for her novel. Dramatic enough to include murder. Paranoia runs rampant as the murderer strikes again, claiming the life of the doctor this time. Chaos ensues as everyone rushes to the crime scene, finding the doctor lifeless with a sword thrust into his back. With a second murder, the guests demand freedom, but the detective has other plans. He locks the door, convinced he's got all he needs to reveal the killer. It's time for the big reveal. The murderer? The mother. The detective confronts all the guests and lays out the clues. The letter M for mother typed on the typewriter, Rowena's anger towards her daughter's fiancé, and that far-fetched theory about her manipulating the doctor into committing suicide. This one was a bit of a stretch, but the detective believes it's true. As the gig is up, Rowena rushes to the rooftop, overlooking the raging ocean with the detective hot on her heels. She pulls out a gun and explains her chilling motives. Her daughter meant everything to her, and the fear of losing her to another man drove her to poison her slowly. But one accidental overdose led to her daughter's death, and she had to stage a suicide to protect her name. Unfortunately for Rowena, her daughter's vengeful spirit intervenes, pushing her off the rooftop and into the abyss. The murderer meets her end, murdered by her murdered daughter, in this chilling tale of murder upon murder. Was that not murder for you folks? In the end, there wasn't really a lot of murders in the film. The only real creative death includes the psychic impaled through a statue.
Walk it. Take a spooky dookie.